Hello, it's Nancy today. Now, I just taught you how to make cookies, only you're never going to see that because it was 19 minutes long. So I will just tell you what I did. Okay, I took 1 container of margarine, and then I filled it up twice with sugar. And I put it in here, and then I dumped a whole bunch of molasses. In. First, I put some oil in the cup, and then I put the molasses, and see how the molasses just came right out? Because it won't stick if you have oil in it first. Molasses has iron. If you have anemia, if you push your finger down and it turns red, or doesn't come back red right away, then you have anemia. You need iron. Molasses is good. Okay, so I had a container of margarine, 2 containers of sugar, some molasses, 4 eggs, and then I filled this up about 2.5 times with flour. Mixed them all together. I poured in a big pile of oatmeal. Didn't matter how much, just whatever it would hold. Oh, before I did that, I added some baking soda. Added about that much baking soda. Make sure that it gets stirred around well. And a whole bunch of cinnamon, a small pile on your hand. Mix them all together. Then I dumped in a whole bunch of nuts. And I added them. And I've stirred it all up, and look at that. That is going to be oatmeal cookies. And I guess I'll have to redo that other one later. But for now, this is what we've got. Okay, so here we have the cookie sheet. And I'm going to show you how to put them on a cookie sheet, because some of you might not know. Okay, first you have to make it so things don't stick. So you just put a little oil or margarine, or use your butter. If you're using butter and you've got your paper, you can rub that on. Okay, now my pan is dirty because I don't get all that black stuff off. It just stays there, and it's not dirty, you know, it's clean, it's just colored. Okay, and then you can put some oil on your spoon, and you can drop it by teaspoons. Now, if that's going to be too big a cookie for you, you can make them smaller. This is not a teaspoon, this is a tablespoon or bigger. Some people like very big cookies, and some people like small cookies. Now, if you're not sure if it's going to be the right texture, if you add too much flour, it's going to be too hard. If you don't add enough flour, it's going to melt all over your pan because of all that sugar and butter. And if it's too sticky, you need flour. But see, it's not really sticking to my fingers. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now, this could be way too big for some people, so you just use a smaller spoon. Now, you need to have them separated. They usually say 2 inches apart. Well, these are huge cookies, so these are going to flatten down. I'm not going to squish them down because they're going to melt and they'll fall down anyway. You don't have to make them perfect. They are just fine. Otherwise, you'll just get a mess on your hand. Now, you put them in your oven at 350 degrees. So you've already turned on your oven. The light for your oven has gone off, or it's beeped to tell you that it's at the right temperature. And you put them in the middle. You don't want them too close to one side or the other, the back or the front, because the air has to go around there. Now, if you're using a convection oven, there's a fan in there that's blowing your air, and they'll cook faster. So we want to cook them for about 7 minutes. But these are big, so they might take more. So we'll just start with 7, and we'll check them. And then, if that's too little, put them in longer. If it's enough, we'll take them out. Okay, and that's Nancy today, making cookies with you.